Hey everybody, just checking in from 49er land on Thursday as the 49ers start their preparations, their on-field prep work to face the Detroit Lions in a, I guess we could say, rematch of the NFC Championship game, but really these teams going in completely opposite directions. 49ers really don't look too much like that team that lined up in the NFC Championship game when you figure, big plays were made by, Brandon Ayuk, Deshaun Gibson, although he's still on the team, a forced fumble. Eric Armstead, a fumble recovery. McCaffrey had a good game, including a touchdown. Elijah Mitchell had a go-ahead touchdown late in the game. And I'm sure I'm missing several others. Detroit Lions, though, something that shouldn't be just kind of sloughed off. The Detroit Lions have had their own injury issues this season. Aiden Hutchinson, a fantastic player, out for the season with a broken leg, but the Lions have been able to endure, and they are on pace to be the number one seed in the NFC with their record as they still try to stave off the NFC North challenging uh, Minnesota Vikings. So we'll see how that turns out. Just wanted to let you know this video is brought to you by Canyon Club Brewery in Moraga, a wide variety of menu items, both beverages with a lot of styles of beer and also some tasty bites on that menu. So check out Canyon Club Brewery in Moraga next time you are in that area. And it's coming soon to the Livery in Danville. Okay, so here's the 49ers injury situation. Guys who aren't practicing on Monday. Monday, what am I talking about? Not practicing on Thursday as they get prepared for the Monday night game, week 17. Trent Williams' ankle won't play again this season. Aaron Banks' knee won't play again this season. By the way, I did talk to Aaron Banks. It's not a situation that's going to linger into the offseason. And as far as his future, he very well might have played his final game for the 49ers as he will be an unrestricted free agent. Spencer Burford, a calf injury, not practicing on Thursday, and Kyle Shanahan termed it as like anything but a certain deal that he'll be able to play. In fact, he said they're hoping that he'll be able to go later in the week, but it'll be tight. So I don't know what the 49ers do at the offensive line positions, especially on the left side. They know who their center, their right guard, and their right tackle are going to be, but my guess would be Nick Zakelj would play right. I'm sorry, yeah, left guard. But who's going to be left tackle at this point? It's anybody's guess. They did sign Charlie Heck. They did sign Matt Hennessy. So a bunch of names. And last week they signed Austin Pleasance. So they have some new faces on that offensive line. And who knows? One of those guys could be in a starting lineup on Monday night. Dre Greenlaw, calf injury. He's been ruled out for the season. Shanahan said that Greenlaw totally understands where the 49ers are coming from, so no issue there. Dre Greenlaw will not play again this season. Unrestricted free agent, obviously. 49ers and Greenlaw come to an understanding on that. Then, as far as his availability for week 17 against the Lions, week 18 against the Cardinals. So now I guess the next step would be that the 49ers and Dre Greenlaw come to an understanding on what they do with him contractually. Aaron Banks, ankle. I already mentioned him. No, he's knee. And then Robert Beal, ankle, isn't practicing. Guys who are limited, Jair Brown with an ankle, Isaac Grendo with a hamstring and foot. We'll see if those guys, since they're limited, I would say it's trending more in a positive direction that they'll be able to play. So, I posted a video a couple days ago about, the thought, could the 49ers rest Brock Purdy? No, not a chance. In fact, I asked Fred Warner, not specifically about Brock Purdy, but about himself. Could he benefit from the rest? And he talked about her from just not playing at all these final two games. And he said that, there's an integrity element of that prevents him from doing that. So, Jake Moody, Kyle Shanahan talked about him today. At 49ers, it appears like, they're going to roll into the offseason with him. He might have some competition, but you know how kickers are. They're kind of odd in the sense that a lot of guys who are, especially guys who are drafted, have to go through some rough patches and then come out of that and they become kickers who are more consistent and have longevity. Jake Moody is one of these guys that before the injury, before the high ankle sprain that he sustained while tackling a kick returner, He up to that point he had been okay, 13 or 12 of 13. A lot of his misses, six of his misses have come after he's returned. One of the games in Buffalo, obviously in a blizzard, not making excuses for Jake Moody, but I think that's something that the 49ers have taken into account. Like, he's a talented guy. 49ers have faith that he will be a good kicker. I guess in the NFL, the key is to make sure that he's a good kicker when he's on your team and that he doesn't go to some other team and excel and flourish as a kicker. So my guess is that Moody will be back with the 49ers certainly through training camp next year. Maybe they bring in somebody to compete with him, but I think certainly the idea is that Jake Moody will continue to be the long-term kicker with the 49ers, even though, as I mentioned, he's 23 of 30 this season. That's a percentage a little bit higher than seven. I think it's low 70s. That's not good enough. But the 49ers believe that there are other circumstances that have kind of worked into that, tied into why the consistency hasn't been there. Okay, so that's the quick rundown from the 49ers. The one thing I want to point out, we talked about Purdy. I think it's incumbent upon Kyle Shanahan to construct a game plan that takes the pressure off of the offensive line, especially on that blind side. The last thing the 49ers want is Brock Purdy getting injured here in the last two games of the season when they're already down a bunch of offensive linemen. And so I think it's very important to put together a game plan where the ball's getting out of his hands quickly. I would expect that probably a lot of Eric Saubert in this game, the backup tight end, kind of a blocking specialist, to move over there to the left side just to tie down Brock Purdy's blind side. But I think it's important to get a lot of three-step drops, five-step drops, where you're getting the ball out quickly so that I'm not sure you can necessarily rely on the left side of that offensive line to protect Purdy. I think this is more important than ever that Kyle Shanahan game plans in a way to slow down the Detroit Lions pass rush and that the game plan protects Purdy. All right, so that's kind of a quick rundown here from 49er Land on Thursday. If you haven't already, please subscribe to this YouTube channel, leave a comment and a like. Want to hear what you have to say. And that is it for now.